So now let's compare Chrome OS to other devices. So one of the big things is Chrome devices are definitely not the cheapest thing out there. You can go out and you can buy a Raspberry Pi, you can grab an Android media player for 30 or 40 bucks. But in the end, is it really that much cheaper when you have to come up with a ton of extras on top of the actual hardware? So the first one I want to talk about that comes up a lot is the Raspberry Pi. So it is a great device for what it is, and it's a tinker board. It's a device to prototype a product and then eventually come out with a production product later. It is not a production device. And on top of that, a Raspberry Pi, when you buy it, comes completely free of any software. So you still have to come up with an operating system. You have to come up with some sort of way to play your digital signage, a way to lock it down, and a way to remotely manage it. None of that is included out of the box with something like a Raspberry Pi. And the other part about that is the case. You know, the form factor of these devices. When you buy a Raspberry Pi, is a completely blank board. There's no heat sinks, there's no fans. It is your responsibility to come up with a case and a way to actually make this device ruggedized. So in the end, between the actual physical, getting the hardware to a point where you can actually deploy it. And then on top of that, the software, finding all those software options, setting them up and configuring them. That versus a Chrome device we found in the past just to be cheaper in the long run to do a Chrome device that already has Chrome OS and already has the remote management. We can receive a device, open the box, and it's something that we can have set up and shipped back out in 10 minutes. Versus something like a Raspberry Pi, there's a lot more overhead and other platforms too. So for what it is, the Raspberry Pi is a great piece of hardware, but really for this sort of thing, it's not a great option.